Do we see that? Do we see that most of these properties are just losing thousands of dollars? Some of them are hundreds of thousands. It's nuts. And we wonder why no one wants to buy multifamilies right now. What is up, everybody? It's Israel Alone, Popular Properties. All right, so today what we're doing is finding the top 3 multifamilies in the Boston market. So let's just load a quick search right here on MLS. So MLS is the market, right? So if anyone's like, hey, is this on market? They're asking if it's listed for sale on MLS. I already have a loaded search for all the 3 families and 4 families in Boston. So let's load that up. Boston MF market. So right here we got multifamilies, no price range, all the active listings in the Boston area. Number of units in the building, 324. So there's 62 properties available. All right. We'll run these. These are them. As you can see, they're mainly over $1 million. All right. And our main issue is that most of them are not making money. So let me show you guys this. Here's a list of all of the active multifamilies. So right here we have their statuses. We have obviously down below a few of the ones that are contingent or expired or under agreement. We're not including any development projects or any mixed use listings. So there are fewer here than there are active. We cannot disclude mixed use or development opportunities. So because of that, there's going to be some change in the listings that we have here versus the listings that we have in this. But nonetheless, we've run analytics on practically all of these, and we have the figures right here. Right, so we have our address, neighborhood, list price, the cap rate for these, their status, and this right here, this G row, is the annual profit loss. So let me zoom in for those who might not be able to see. Right there. Do we see that? Do we see that most of these properties are just losing thousands of dollars every month or every year? Some of them are hundreds of thousands. It's nuts. And we wonder why no one wants to buy multifamilies right now. So let's take a look at the analytics for this first before we go and find these. All right, so you guys know exactly what I'm basing these on. So this right here is the Boston Housing Authority's payment standards for bedrooms per zip code. All right, so this is a 1-bedroom in Ashland. It pays $25.52. Okay, that's what Boston Housing Authority's payment standards are. It's the maximum they would pay, assuming that you were paying all utilities and your home was properly fixed up, modern. We just run our analytics based on this. This has every town, as y'all can see. So I've developed this to pull information from these, right? So this has once I put this zip code in for this pro forma right here, it pulls up the information for bedroom counts in that zip code. And I just simply put how many units of that bedroom there are in the building, and it gives me the monthly gross. Very simple. I mean, not really, but it's simple to use. Down here below, we have our expenses. All right. We're basing these pretty high. Okay, because we like to prepare for the worst. So we're basing these $17.50 per unit for insurance, $50 per 1,000 square feet of cleaning, $75 per unit for heat, no HOA fees. Land snow removal is $50 per 1,000 square feet of lot, $49 per unit for electric, no management fees, $10 per every 10 square foot of the house for maintenance, and $60 a unit for water. This will give us all of our annual expenses. So now we can calculate insurance, utilities, management, maintenance, all that stuff to get into our expenses our annual expense. So, right, yeah. I mean, we're even calculating over here your monthly P&I. All right. So once we have the list price, the taxes, we can just simply do a formula, a PMI formula, right up there. Pull the data and get us a rough estimate. Now, granted, this might be like you shouldn't be more than like $300 away from the price that you'd pay. But this gives you a rough estimate of what your monthly P&I is going to be. So with all that, we can get a DSR level, right? That service ratio, because we can figure out all of your monthly payments, including your utilities, and compare it to your monthly gross to figure out exactly how much your property is generating over its cost, right? So like how far in the black is it? Okay. And obviously we get a cap rate, which is simple. We also base that cap rate obviously on the total purchase and development cost versus the total expenses. Now, the way we get the purchase and development cost is we do renovation price per square foot. So for this property right here, 101 Hancock, we were saying a rough like $5 per square foot to repair. This would just cover basic repairs if you bought the home and like a few heaters were broken, or maybe you had to update like, a few small detail items. But this property isn't too bad, right? It's generating $872 a month, and its annual operating income is going to be $10,475. So for personal cap rates, right, we said a 7% cap rate is the minimum that we want. 1.2%, 1.2 DSR is the minimum we want. So it did not meet that, and we wanted to make at least $1,000 a month. So this, unfortunately, does not meet the criteria. Let's take a look at it real fast, though. So this is the home, 101 Hancock Street. As you can see, pretty good. I might have want to edit her out, but as you can see, it's a pretty good home. Decently updated. Don't think you'll have to do much. That's pretty good, right? You got poured concrete foundation. You got the public meter right there. It's not too bad. Private storages. Yeah. So totally fine. So we're going to say, $5 a square foot, $17,000 to renovate this. But as you can see, this is our sample property. This one is not that great. It's listed at $1,299,000, and it's just not making any money, right? Your total capital needed, well, actually, your total cost to close on this, based on 20% down payment, is $289,000. So you're spending $289,000, right, all in, just to make $10,000 a year. It's just crazy. So if this home was priced maybe, right, at just $1 million, this is much more reasonable, right? You're making basically 10% of your money back, a little bit over 10% of your money back if this was $1 million property, right? Your cost to close is $223,000, and you're generating $29,000 annually. That's a solid investment. But instead, it's priced at $1,299. The Boston market is just quickly losing any appeal that it has. Now let's look at the location. Where's the closest train station to this? Fields Corner, Savin Hill. So its one benefit is that it is less than a mile away from the train. Less than a mile away. But either way, it's not that great. Homes in this area right here, just a few years ago, you could get a multifamily for $800,000, and now they're all of a sudden 1.2 mil. Rents didn't go up that much. They're not covering it, and with interest rates, it's terrible. I mean, we could also, obviously, I forgot to mention this. These payments are based on interest rates, right? So look over here, look at that $7,000 for your monthly P&I. If we just quickly switch this interest rate over to 5%, it goes down to $5,658. So when interest rates drop, yes, these properties will be a little bit more appealing. But the point is that it's not fantastic where it is right now. So these properties are only appealing if interest rates remain at a 5% or below. So why is anybody buying them right now? Yeah, with that said, let's find the best ones, because there are still properties that are generating. So you just need to make sure that you're staying informed so you can figure out and know at least what you're getting into, right? Because we have in our sheets, we have a 5-year overview, right? This is our 1-year projection overview. It's how much you're going to be grossing, how much your monthly payment is. But this is your 5-year overview based on a 3% inflation increase for all of your utilities and a 5% increase for your rentals, and obviously adjusting for a 3% vacancy rate, which in Boston, if you're good and you have a great management team, or you're a diligent landlord, you should have no vacancies. And if you need help, let us know. I have space for one client that I can focus on right now. Yeah, can't really take on too many people, but there is one available opportunity to work with me. So that everybody else will either have to be patient or can work with one of my agents. They're great. I trained them myself. All right, guys. Wait, here's the scene. Boom. See y'all later.